you know, Elizabeth, right, her freshman year, I saw her and I said, wow, this kid, I got to keep my eye on this kid. And now the coaches can do futures. She did the futures test, and right away she was just very natural. She didn't know exactly what she was doing. I just said, hey, you have to do this either running wise. I showed them a couple of moves, you know, to drop step or turn properly. And she very naturally did it without even really playing field hockey before. You know, I kept trying to give her opportunities, and you know, a lot of time being on the varsity team is not just skill, not just endurance, and not just training, it's need. What do I need as a team member? So I utilized her here and there off the bench as a forward, as a defender, and she did very well. I said, you need to be my center midfielder. You need to take over this role. And she did it with ease. There was actually a game where she was struggling a little bit in the game. And you know, I took her out and I said, Yorey, watch this game for a second. I said, you see that? You're not in there. They don't know what to do. And my team does not know how to run without Elizabeth Yorey. And I said, it doesn't matter if you're hurting today. It doesn't matter if you don't feel 100%. But what you do in there and your presence makes everyone better. And that's what Elizabeth does for our team. And from that leadership alone, she's going to be my captain next year. On top of that, she has great skill. She's a great assist. And her leadership, even this year as a junior, she is a voice of reason. She's calming. She gets everyone pumped up. Hustle, heart, desire is her best quality. And what's great is she has skills that can be utilized in that. And then after that game, whether she, you know, and she was very rarely injured, but you know, whether she was injured, whether she didn't feel well, whatever it was, from that point on, she just owned the game, no matter how she felt. And she knew that if she just did some of the little things, her teammates would take over. And when it was her turn to go, she went and she won 2 significant games for us this year. She leads by example. Completely. She's very athletic, very fast. You know, you race her, she's out front. But when you watch her play, the game slows down around her. And that's not because she's going slow, but she does everything so deliberately, and you can't teach that. You can't, it's so hard to teach game sense. It's so hard to teach, pull that player in, and then almost make them look foolish because they're standing still and you've just moved around them so easily. You know, we joke like, you know, like a cone. You know, like they're just cones. And that's when Elizabeth gets the ball, the game's still moving very fast, but it looks like it's moving so slow because she just has such control and she naturally moves her body around. And I say, hey, do this, and I show her something, and then she'll just do it. She can add that into her game, even though it wasn't something much different. But instead of pulling here, just put the ball out in front, lead it, turn your feet around, and now you're cutting in the other direction. And she's like, oh yeah, that's right, boom, and she does it. So she, you know, like I said, she does that very well. Extremely coachable because she already has that sense and she has the understanding of how the game is played and why you're doing that. And those are the things you can't teach. And it's very fluid, and like I said, very fast speed, but it looks like the game slows down. She has very good academics. She's right now she's in my health class, and I have a rigorous curriculum, and she's top in the class. She asks things that prompts good class discussion. So her academic is above par for junior year. and she's one of those midfielders that can play right side, she can play left side, she can play forward, she can play defense. She's that player that has all the qualities and then can be molded into anything. She is a midfielder. She could play a midfielder in college. She could play a forward in college. She could play a great defender in college because she understands the game. And as a midfielder in high school, she has to use every single skill, defensively, offensively.
West Milford trying to beat everyone on their own.
Intercepted by Hills again. Just going all the way.
Elizabeth Yorey makes goals happen, and she stops goals from happening. Anything that gets through the midfield, she'll intercept and she'll change it into something very positive for us. I have her a little more defensively, so she doesn't have a whole lot of goals, but she has a whole lot of assists. And when I do allow her on corners to push up, and when I did allow her to be a forward, she got the goals too. The game doesn't run without her in it.